It was a busy weekend in the transfer portal cycle for the Red Raiders as they had two official visitors out in the 806. We'll discuss how those visits went, as well as the Red Raiders scheduling another visit for a high transfer portal target here in the next 2 weeks. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast, and y'all know the drill by now. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell, but I'm not going to lie to you. Before we get started about anything basketball related, how about Ludvig at the Masters, huh? The Texas Tech grad coming in second at the Masters in his first major appearance on the PGA Tour. It was absolutely sensational to watch. Shout out to Scotty Scheffler for winning his second Masters, but I thought Ludvig was sensational. If you think so as well, just leave me an LA down in the comments below, because I'll be honest with you, it's going to be fun as hell watching this guy on the PGA Tour for the next 15, 20, maybe even longer, because he is an absolute bona fide superstar, and hey, he's a Red Raider as well. All right, speaking of Red Raiders, well, at least potentially, let's get into that right now, as we will discuss the official visitors for Texas Tech men's basketball this past weekend. You'll be listening to this video most likely on April 15th. That is a Monday. They had Kevin Overton on campus, the Drake transfer, 6'5" guard from Drake, and I mentioned it in a couple videos here on the channel. He is my favorite player that Texas Tech has targeted in the portal for a plethora of reasons. You can go check out those reasons on other videos here on the channel. But when it came to his visit specifically, he had a great visit according to multiple Texas Tech sources on the Scarlet and Black Insider. D5, Darion Williams, was actually the one that hosted his visit for Texas Tech. Now, we do know who his final three are as of right now for Kevin Overton. It is Oklahoma, Drake, and Texas Tech, according to multiple websites, first reported by 24/7 Sports. Now, this is where things get interesting. He is expected to announce his college commitment on Tuesday, April 16th. We're not sure on what time, but that is a day after the time of this recording. As it stands right now, the Scarlet and Black Insider has it on pretty good authority that this will either come down to Drake or Texas Tech at the time of this recording. As we all know, things change in the portal, somebody called me Snapper, got to feed into the nickname. Things change in the portal, right? We know that. But as of right now, from the intel we have over at the Scarlet and Black Insider, Austin Massey is reporting that this one will probably come down to Drake or Texas Tech for the, commitment of Kevin Overton. Now, we move on to the center aspect of this, and it's Federiko Federiko. Much like Overton, he had a great visit, according to Texas Tech sources that relayed that to the Scarlet and Black Insider. He got to hang out with his fellow countryman, Ameli Alahu. And right now, it seems like there's no timetable in terms of his commitment. I mean, shoot, by the time that this video gets out, maybe he committed to Texas Tech. Maybe, but as it stands right now, at the time of this recording, nothing as of yet. Now, there are a couple of other schools in the mix for him, so maybe he goes on another official visit or two, but it was good that Texas Tech had the first official visit for him, and he could be a guy, again, that plays in that 20 to 25-minute range, probably closer to 15 to 20, and be a serviceable big in a rotation with another big for the Red Raiders if he were to commit to the Scarlet and Black. Now, we do have another visitor set up to the Red Raiders, and that would be a guy that we've talked about numerous times here on the channel. It is Brendan Wenzel from Wyoming, the sharpshooter, 6'7" guard, more of a hybrid type 2-3 kind of guy, but he's 6'7", shoots the lights out of it, 37% from three. We've mentioned him in previous videos, as I've mentioned, but Jacob Harris of the Scarlet and Black Insider was actually the first one to report that Brendan Wenzel would have an official visit to Texas Tech. He said it would be here in the next 2 weeks. He was right. We have the official date as of now. He will visit Oklahoma State on April 18th, TCU on the 20th, and then he will visit the 806 on April 26th. Again, Jacob Harris was the first one to report that by the Scarlet and Black Insider. He's a name to 100% monitor for the Red Raiders for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, his length would be great to have on the roster for Texas Tech, a team that really didn't have much of it last year after Devin Cambridge went down. So you watch from that factor. Now on the court skills, we know he's a good shooter. He's not the greatest defender in the world, but that length does present problems. But he is a guy that would really fit in nicely in terms of catch and shoot in the system that Grant McCasland wants to run offensively. Now, off the court, there's some ties to Texas Tech. The main one being his dad. His dad is a Texas Tech grad, so it is interesting from the standpoint of Texas Tech getting the last official visit on his schedule as it stands right now. I would suspect that this comes down to TCU and Texas Tech because Wenzel has been on record saying he wants to play his last year of collegiate basketball in the state of Texas. He is a San Antonio, Texas native. He wants to play in the state in his last collegiate year before graduating. Well, TCU and Texas Tech are the only two official visits he has scheduled as of now when it comes to Lone Star State teams. So those are the three names to monitor: Kevin Overton and obviously Feddy. They had official visits this past weekend, while Brendan Wenzel will have his official visit to Texas Tech on April 26th. Now, we do need to talk about another target that the Red Raiders had in the transfer portal that committed elsewhere this weekend. It is Indiana State guard, well, formerly Indiana State guard, Julian Larry, a Frisco, Texas native. He had some ties to some of the guys on the Texas Tech staff. He is, well, originally from Frisco, as I mentioned, but Texas Tech had real interest in him. However, he committed to the University of Texas this past weekend, along with his former Sycamore teammate and now Longhorn teammate, Jason Kent, two guys that really helped Coach Schertz up there for the Sycamores at Indiana State this past season, who absolutely got snubbed in the NCAA tournament. But I digress. Those two guys will play down in Austin this next year, and now you're going to see some more names potentially for Texas Tech in that guard rotation mix in terms of the portal, because they were really high on Julian Larry. They were trying to really get an official visit scheduled, but unfortunately that did not happen. He committed to the Longhorns this past weekend. So again, when you look at the overall theme of this past weekend, it went really well for the Red Raiders when it comes to Kevin Overton and Federiko Federiko. You got another official visit scheduled with Brendan Wenzel, the guy from Wyoming, the sharpshooter, I should say, from Wyoming. He will take his official visit, according to Jacob Harris of the Scarlet and Black Insider, on April 26th. Tipton Edits also had that official schedule out there on Twitter as well. So got to give him his credit when it comes to Brendan Wenzel, But those are the two guys in terms of the official visitors that have already happened. And then there's another one in Brendan Wenzel coming in. But now we wait and see, where does Kevin Overton commit on Tuesday, April 16th? Could it be Texas Tech? Again, he is my favorite player in terms of guys that are heavily linked to the Red Raiders in the portal. I think he is a seamless fit in a Grant McCasland system, not only offensively, but defensively as well. So he is a name to monitor, as well as Federiko Federiko. And if you can't tell, at the bottom of your screen right there, I'm asking you to do three things before we head out of here. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to stay in the know on Texas Tech men's basketball all year long, right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube. Almost 10,000 strong, people. Of course, I'm talking about the Back to 12 podcast channel.